أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Today is the last day of your 3 days Atfal rally. Is it 3 days rally? And you are gathered here for the concluding session of this rally. As we know, the age of Atfalul Hamdiya is from 7 to 15. And mainly there are two major categories: Atfal of the age of 7 to 12 and from 12 to 15. But the administration here has further divided into subgroups with the difference of, of 7 to 9, 9 to 11 and up to 15. There are 4 or 5 groups. Among these groups, competition, among the Atfal of these groups, competition of presentations and other religious proceedings were held. The Atfalul Ahmadiyya from the age of 7 to 12 are not that mature as the Atfalul Ahmadiyya from the age of 12 to 15. This is why there are two different categories, major categories, and then further subdivision of these categories. And quite a number of you participated in the competitions, various competitions held. To judge your knowledge and your mental capabilities. But remember that the sole purpose of such events is not to carry out competitions only, but it is an avenue for gathering to listen to good words of advice and improving your religious knowledge. I hope that your speeches and competitions would have proved fruitful in achieving this. Simply receiving awards should not be your purpose, but rather It should be to enhance your religious education and piety. So I advise you to remember and implement all that you have learned from either your fellow Atfals fellow young speakers, or from your elders, your organizers in your daily life. Similarly, those who have taken part in any educational or speech competition should also make it a point that their participation is not merely for the sake of competition, but to make it a part of your life. As an Ahmadi boy, your basic purpose should be to establish a relationship with Allah, the Almighty. And for that, Allah Almighty has made it obligatory on all Muslims to offer 5 daily prayers. And that is why the Holy Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that when a boy reaches the age of 7, make him aware of offering his prayers and importance of prayers. And at the age of 10, be stricter in implementing it. And at the age of 12, you can only counsel him, because that is the age where it is supposed that the child is now quite grown up. So you must all pay attention to this matter, regardless of how gentle the Holy Prophet ﷺ was. He was very much strict on a child if he is not offering prayer after the age of 10. If you all develop the habit of offering your daily prayers from an early age, then in later life, this habit will stay with you for your lifetime, forever. According to the 5 pillars of Islam after Kalma, the second important thing and the obligation is namaz, which should be offered regularly and for men in congregation. For boys, after the age of 10, they should go to the mosque or to the salat centers for offering their obligatory prayers. When you develop this habit of offering your prayers regularly, then you will establish a lasting relationship with God, with Allah, the Almighty. Love for Allah and affiliation towards religion and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will also be established. And this is the purpose of your existence. Do not think that you are children and so will focus on it when you grow up. This is the time to work on it. Just as you study at different stages, and that study builds the foundation for your future career. So does offering namaz from an early age lead to building a strong foundation for your future relationship with Allah the Almighty? I give you an example here of Mir Muhammad Ismail Sahib, who was the brother of Masih Maud's wife, Hadhrat Nusrat Jahan Begum. He says that once when he was 14 years old, he spent the namaz, spent the Ramadan with Hazrat Masih Maud. And at Tahajjud, he would wake up to offer the Tahajjud with Hazrat Masih Maud. And he used to observe with detail which dua and surah Hazrat Masih Maud would recite. So, what this shows is that if one is inclined towards such deeds, then even at the age of 13, 14, you can develop such habits as well. And later on, it became the habit of Mir Muhammad Ismail Sahib that he offered tahajjud until the last day he did it. Just after 3 months, Ramzan will be with us again. By that time, you would also be on holidays. Even though fasting is not obligatory on you at this age, this is a good time to partake in tahajjud, nawafil, and study of the Holy Quran. That will increase your spiritual level. Similarly, we are told that during the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, very young children were dedicated to religion. For example, it is mentioned that Hazrat Ali was merely 10 years when he accepted Islam and did Bai'at at the hands of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When the Holy Prophet ﷺ gathered all his relatives and tribesmen and asked them, who will join me and help me spread the message of Allah? Everyone kept silent. But Hazrat Ali came forward and said, I will be your helper in spreading the message of Allah till my last breath. On seeing this, the big kuffar leaders made mockery of the fact that if it was children that were joining him, then what kind of prophet is he? And how would he achieve what he says, that he is going to bring the whole world to bow before Allah? The world, however, then saw how that same child grew up to become a symbol of bravery and courage, who defended Islam at all instances, who became the right hand of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and who the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam trusted so much that when he migrated from Mecca, he asked Hazrat Ali to lie on his bed, and the kuffar will not know about his migration to Medina. That shows the trust the Holy Prophet ﷺ had on Hazrat Ali. Then another example is that of Hadhrat Zaid bin Harsa, who was also only a child when he accepted Islam at the hands of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He was a servant of Hazrat Khadija radhiyallahu anha, but this love for the Holy Prophet, his love for the Holy Prophet ﷺ was such that when it was time for him to go with his parents, when his parents came and asked him to go, the mother is desperately waiting for him. So even after hearing all that, after seeing his parents, brother and parents or uncle, he refused to go with them, saying that his parents were now the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this way, his love for the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam led to the love for Islam and ultimately love for Allah. And he made a lot of sacrifices for the sake of Islam and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another example is of Hazrat Zubair bin Awam, who also accepted Islam when still a child and made a lot of sacrifices for its sake. Then in the Battle of the Badr, there are numerous examples of how children showed loyalty and courage in defending Islam against its enemies. One example is that of Hazrat Umair, who, on hearing that the Holy Prophet ﷺ had asked all the children to return home and not proceed in the battle, he hid himself so as to go along. However, when he was found out, he started to cry and pleaded with the Holy Prophet ﷺ to allow him to join the battle and fight against the enemies. Then we see another example of two brave and courageous children, Muawiz and Muaz, aged 13-14, who in the battle of Badr asked the Sahabi, Hadhrat Abu Musa Ashari, I think, who was flanked by these two boys, and Abdurrahman bin Auf. He was flanked by these two boys, and they asked him who Abu Jahl was, and on being shown, attacked the worst enemy of the Holy Prophet ﷺ with the intention to kill him. On seeing this, and they attacked very successfully. On seeing this, Abu Jahl's son attacked him, one of these boys, and cut his arm off. However, this did not deter him from continuing the battle. Rather, even with one hand, he fought even more with great zeal and courage. This passion was purely for the sake of God's love, and this can only happen when one establishes a strong bond with Him. In this day and age, jihad is not of the sword, but of the pen. Hazrat Masih is not asking us to come forward to fight in battles, but increase your knowledge and fight your enemies with the pen. Acquire religious knowledge and form relationship with Allah the Almighty. When this relationship is established, then God will help you both in your worldly dealings and religious endeavors. Just as I said earlier, the purpose of your existence is to establish a relationship with God, with Allah the Almighty. Increase in knowledge and wisdom, and with that you will be able to fight the enemies of Islam in the right way, as you would be guided by Allah the Almighty. Be sure to focus on your prayers and remember that your parents or fathers accepted Hazrat Masih your forefathers. Some of you are here, sitting here among us, who are quite young in the Jamaat. Their fathers have accepted Ahmadiyya, and some are from very old Ahmadi families. Their forefathers accepted Ahmadiyya. They accepted Hazrat Masih so that Islam's superiority and Allah's superiority is established in the world. And this should be your main purpose as well. Live your lives solely for the purpose of serving God and fulfilling all your obligations. At the age of 13, 14, sometimes some of you start to feel that under the influence of your surrounding and environment, you feel that you need your independence. But remember that this independence should not go against the commandments of Allah the Almighty. If you understand this is the basic principle. You have to understand it. Then we can say that the new generation is quite competent or able to hold the reins or the leadership of the Ahmadiyyat. And we can be assured that the future of Ahmadiyyat is in the safe hands. So you are going to be the future leader of Ahmadiyyat. And you will have to prove yourself and start learning from this age. May Allah Almighty keep you adherent to Islam, and may He protect you from worldly desires and make you the right hand of Hazrat Masih to spread the message of Islam and Ahmadiyyat. Amen. Now please join me in the silent prayer.